Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why have you come with me? Rain.
Where's my dough?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vibes and Stuff Live in the Morning. It's your host, Chuck Allen, with your host, Uncle Freezy, coming to you live on a June 23rd, Thursday. It is draft day. Vibrant ones, are you ready? Uncle Freezy, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm fantastic, brother. I'm fantastic, man. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm not quite fantastic yet. We'll see what happens by the end of business today, and I'll let you know if I'm happy or not. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm feeling the vibe right there. I'm with you. I'm fantastic, man. I'm feeling good. You know, about the possibilities of what can be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, so I'm feeling good, man. And I'm genuine too, genuinely feeling good. You know,
Okay.
yeah, man, I'm feeling good. So, excited about today. Is the Super Bowl for the Knicks, if I may.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That today is that big of a deal for the New York Knicks, and you could say, well, you know what? It's always like that for the Knicks, and it's like, no, well, in my opinion, I think this off season determines what the Knicks' future is really going to be,
Right.
because there's a lot of uncertainty, right?
A lot of uncertainty. A lot of
uncertainty. And I think with some of the guys that you've mentioned in this draft that would be a fit for the Knicks, I think it's imperative that you get one of those players. But part of me is saying, I don't trust draft minds. Why? Because they've hyped up a lot of people,
Right.
and overlooked a lot of people, and the outcomes have varied. Some of those people that they said was going to be whatever didn't turn out to be that way.
Yeah.
And then some of the people that got passed over, well, this part of their game is raw. They're not ready, blah, blah, blah. A team takes a chance on them, and then they end up being a top 25 player.
Yeah.
Or a top 75 player of all time. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah.
Can you trust it? Can you?
Example given is Giannis. The example is Giannis. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this kid Ivy is the truth, and we can get him, because that's what we need now. We need the truth. I've listened to just about everybody that I'm familiar with, and a couple of people that I've never seen before, but because I've been watching a lot of Knick content, YouTube suggested, different channels and stuff like that, and I'll just watch to see what their content, and it seems to me and this is just me, that whatever the media says, they grab hold to it as if it's the gospel truth. Well, we're
Right.
going to do it like this. And I'm like, Our names are always brought up
Right.
of potential landing spots for all types of high profile players. And it's always the Knicks must get this person. And I'm like, okay, so when we don't get this person, it's a failure. And our commentators, our Knicks commentators tear us apart. Oh, the front office is incompetent. They can't get it done. How come they couldn't get this? How come they couldn't get that?
Right.
And I'm just under the impression that, yo, man, business is a two-way street.
Yep.
I can offer you everything, but it's up to you if you're going to engage or not. And you can look at what I offer you and be like, nah, I'm good. Even if we think what we're offering is a sweetheart of a deal, like we're giving you all of this. Okay, we'll pass, and we'll take this other team's awful package, and then we'll blame the front office, man. Sometimes people just don't, Anyway, if we don't get Ivy, would you be upset?
Yes.
But why? Huh?
Because of what you just said. What do you mean? What do you mean?
But I've watched the media tell Knicks fans they're getting Zion Williamson and Kyrie Irving.
Indeed.
And
in the same
Kevin
year.
Durant. Yes.
In the same year. Yeah,
And-
indeed.
And not only did the person who made that nonsense up run with it, everyone that heard it ran with it. It became a story, and it's the thing.
Right.
And you had Knicks fans, oh, we getting this, we getting Kyrie, we getting Kevin Durant, we getting Zion. And then when Zion goes to New Orleans, oh, the Knicks still couldn't. They tanked and they still couldn't get it done. But y'all knew the rules changed. Y'all knew the rules changed, and y'all knew it was a crapshoot to even get the number one pick now because of the rule change, right?
Right.
So why would y'all automatically say the Knicks are getting this person when y'all know that there's steps that won't necessarily guarantee you will get this guy? But that's what they said. Oh, it's all but a done deal. Kyrie and Kevin Durant to the Garden. Then they signed with the Brooklyn Nets.
Right. The rival, the arch enemy.
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm saying that we need to temper our expectations and not hold on to some of this stuff that's being thrown out as the gospel truth and how we're going to move forward as an organization. Because a lot of y'all made some good points yesterday. Boy, the Knick content was out there yesterday. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Someone made a point. Someone was, I want to say it was Don P or Nice. I'm not sure which one of them. I can't remember exactly, but they were saying they were bringing up the fact that the media was bringing up Justice Winslow in the draft, and the Knicks needed to get Justice Winslow because Justice Winslow was going to be a franchise changer. And we see that Justice Winslow is on his second team or third team? Second team.
15? Fifth?
Wow.
Yeah, but here's the thing. First of all, you got to be mindful when people make blanket statements, and I'm not throwing shade at Don P, but when people make blanket statements like that, you got to be mindful. First of all, what media was it? Was it national media or local media? right?
Right.
Is that media source dependable? Right.
Right.
Right. It's a lot of things that go into it. That's why when people make the blanket statements, I'm always in the mindset that, okay, have perspective. Right. Like when you and I talk and you be like, yo, man, such and such is good as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, I trust Chuck word, right? Because I know Chuck ain't just gonna say, you know what I'm saying, gonna invite everybody to do such and such because of he took third or fourth person view of such and such. You know what I'm saying? I know Chuck
Right.
understand what people like, and he tried it for himself, and he think those two are a match. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for others, sometimes they hear this one thing, and since they're so passionate about it, they do exactly what you said, take it as the gospel and run with it. You feel me? So when I hear stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling you. I understand where you're coming from, but until I get to know, until I get to know you further, then I'm just gonna take this as information, for information purposes only. I'm not get ready to go. You remember that old Christmas song, "Go Tell It on the Mountain"? Go tell it on the mountain. Yeah,
Over the hills, everywhere.
yeah. I ain't ready to do all of that. I ain't ready to do all of that based on what people tell me on the live stream. I just take it in context, and I think sometimes people get upset with me that I don't get excited like the Jump remix with Criss Cross and Supercat. Daddy Mac, Daddy Supercat, make them jump, bump, bump, bump. For the old heads that were alive when Jump was the song tearing up the radio, and then they did the remix with a hot reggae artist named Supercat, and took it to a whole, man. Jump went to a whole. You remember Jump? You remember the song Jump? And
can't compare us here. I'm a bad little fan. I'm the Mac and I'm bad and I'm something that you never had. I make you jump, pump, wiggle and shake your rump. Cause I be kicking the flavors that make you want to jump. High, real high. Cause I'm just so fly. A young, lovable, huggable type of guy. And I can't remember the rest because it was so long.
It's wiggity whack. Yeah, because
yo, that song was crazy.
Wiggity whack. Yeah,
when they debuted that joint on In Living Color the next day at school, everybody on the bus with their clothes on backwards. Everybody, even this bus driver. I mean, people had on button-ups.
Wait a minute, Chuck, did you say it? Wait a minute, Chuck, did you say at school? Because
yes.
Wait a minute, where was I at?
Oh,
okay.
Say that again.
So I just now I feel like an old ass man. Now I feel like an old ass motherfucker.
Nah,
because I was not in school, man. I was after college, man. I was after, I think I had like 2 or 3 correspondences left to put in the mail. And for those that don't know what correspondence courses are, it's like when you go to a school, like I was going to Baylor, right? Mm-hmm. I would go to Baylor University, grab a stack of classes like this high, right? Yeah. And take the class one at a time, lick what they call a stamp, put it on my homework, and mail it to them because I was a correspondence student because I couldn't be in the classroom. Right. And I had to do that every week. And so I had like 3 of those correspondence. Damn, Chuck made me feel old just now. And now I'm feeling like Inside Out is wiggity whack. I feel old, man. I feel old as dirt now, bro. And when I was doing that, man, Baylor University was like the trashiest school in sports ever. The basketball team was garbage. And then now, like a million years later, they win in national championships and they got all these pretty uniforms and they got cats like Sohan and Kendall Brown. And when I was there, they had a dude named David Wesley that made the NBA. They had this young track dude named Michael Johnson that was real blazing fast. I think he did something
Man, he
in
did
the
a little something.
Olympics. Yeah, he did a little something. When I was taking correspondence courses there, you know what I'm saying? It was, man, dang, Chuck made me feel.
I
Man.
was feeling old when I was saying that. I was like, oh my God, I still remember that. Because I was in elementary school.
Yeah, man. That was a long time ago, sir.
Long time ago.
Yeah. And when I remember the video for it, so I was like, is that Super Cat? And then I heard was Daddy Mock Daddy Super Cat make them jump. And I was like, oh, this right here is gonna be a banger. Cause that and this joint called Ghetto Red Hot was on the radio.
Oh yeah.
With some young fat rapper from Brooklyn on there, you know what I'm saying? And some dude on there sounding like Hawaiian Sophie. Some dude named Puff Daddy was trying to rap like Hawaiian. I was like, what is this? This dude is trying to sound like Jaz-O. What is this Jaz-O sound, man? He's stealing. But anyway. Hey Chuck, give me a second, man. I gotta prepare for something. I'm gonna just leave you on screen for a second, man. I gotta remember I told you I had to do something at 8:15.
Yeah,
all right, sir. Let me prepare to do that.
So yeah, man, I'm excited about today too. I think I'm hoping that things change, because I agree with most of the older Knicks fans and some of young Knicks fans, or just the Knicks fans that have the mindset, yo, we got to get a star in here, because they're objectively looking at the roster and realizing we are voided of a star. We in need of one. Now, I'm not saying Jaden Ivey is going to be that. I think he's extremely talented with tremendous upside. But one thing that I will say is, if he has a deficiency shooting, right, then it would be imperative to find adequate shooting to put around him. I mean, granted, you do still have Evan Fournier on the roster. I would be looking to go younger. I would want to put someone out there that's aggressive. I would be probably talking to. He's not a great shooter either, so let me not bring his name up either. We definitely need shooting if your two top young players can't do that on a consistent basis. But we don't know. We don't know exactly how his game is going to translate. Some people look middle of the pack or middle of the road while they're in college. And I think someone brought it up the other day about, coaches in college don't necessarily play you to your strengths. Some coaches have you work on your weaknesses throughout the year, especially if you're a one and done. So you may not see the full repertoire of a person's game like in years past, when guys were staying 2 or 3 years or maybe even 4 years in college. So the one and dones you may not see all of their game. And so some of the things that we may count as deficiencies may not be. They may have that as a part of their game. It's just that they weren't able to showcase it. Salute Danny Landis in the building. Salute Andrew College. Salute S. Brooklyn, man. We appreciate y'all coming through and chopping it up with us this morning. It's Thursday, June 23rd. It's draft day, baby. It's do or die for the NYC Bacchus. Period. We ain't got to play around with it. But thank y'all for coming. If this is your first time joining us, make sure you hit that like button, man. Get them thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, so whenever we go live or we upload something, you'll know, and you can come by Vibes and Stuff and kick it with us, man, for sure. Yes, man, it's great seeing you too, Danny. We are on the clock. And it's important to get some things right. It is important to get some things right. This off season and next. Because we've been in positions like this plenty of times, and we didn't make the right choices. We swung and we missed on some duds, and so or maybe not duds, just guys that didn't pan out the way we thought they were going to. To Knicks fans, man, I want y'all to be optimistic about Jaden Ivey, but don't walk around all day like, yo, we got him, he's in our back pocket, it's a done deal, because it's not. And you'll be all heartbroken and mad, like, oh, the front office couldn't get it done. It's not as simple as you may think, and teams have to want to do business with you. Just because you have stuff don't mean a person wants it or even wants to deal with you. Because I've had situations where I had to do business with people, and because of that person, I didn't really care for them. I didn't care what they were offering. I didn't care what kind of deal they were bringing to the table. It was like, nah, I'm good. Man, you better take that money, man. There ain't nothing but you can't. Nah, if I have to get the money, I'll get it from somebody. It just won't be them. And see, some of that could be going on behind the scenes. So you have to take that into consideration. But I feel like there's a certain amount of pressure this year, especially after, they took a chance to improve the roster by adding the pieces that they added last season, extending those who they extended, and we trotted it out there, and it didn't work. It wasn't firing on all cylinders, even though the first 5 or 6 games, it looked like we had something. It looked like it was something promising, but then the bottom fell out, and it just seemingly got worse over time. And so we have that taste in our mouth, like, oh, well, the front office, they tried, it didn't work. That's how things go. Sometimes you try some things, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I feel like now you have the opportunity to make a jump. Unc and a few other people have made some very good observations on how we really don't take chances when we should be taking those leaps of faith, meaning moving up to get the guy that you want instead of waiting to see if they fall to you. To say, we're giving up all of our assets. And I've heard a lot of Knicks fans say this over the past couple days. How we got so many picks. Stop saying it. Like, our picks we got picks, but they're not first round picks.
Right.
To be coveting like that. Like, we're not OKC. If we had OKC's storage of picks, yes. You should be excited. If you had who else? Who let me see. Who has the most first round picks? Um and let's look at what is this? Sports Skeeter. Okay. You got the number 5 Memphis Grizzlies with 9 picks. Number 4, the Knicks with 9 picks. The New Orleans Pelicans with 11. The Rockets with 13. And the OKC Thunder with 17. Okay.
That's a lot of picks, Chuck. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of picks if you were it would be a lot of picks if you were a lottery team. But we're middle of the road. We're picking in the 20s most years. If they were the top 5, oh yeah. If we were picking in the top 5, those picks would mean, in my opinion, they would mean something. There's no way we're going to draft all those guys. Yeah. Even I wouldn't be looking to give up our pick. The Dallas pick is like an extra pick that we pick up, so it doesn't matter. It we can use it at our discretion. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna hurt as bad as giving up our pick. So if we use Dallas's pick this year to move up to get Ivy, veterans get moved, Ivy, RJ, and whoever else gets to play, and our record is 25-57. Just throwing a number out there. Then you know that we're going to be in the top, at least in the top 10, top 5, picking next year. And you already got your Jaden Ivy. You should be able to grab someone else that will help push the franchise into the future. I think that's how we have to look at it. Being able to draft guys high and then draft the right guys.
Okay, right. I'm with you. I think that makes a lot of sense to me, and I think while we should be risk adverse in terms of mistakes, I don't think we should just not take the risk though.
You should take the risk. But because what do you got to lose?
Games. That's all.
And guess what? Lose. And guess what? Losing games ain't gonna be that bad for us.
Right, and we've been losing them anyway.
Right. So you lose games, you get better draft position, and hopefully you can get a generational player. Now, the consensus is 2023 is supposed to be a better draft, right? So my thing is, okay, if you know that's supposed to be a better draft, keep your pick. and try to get the best available in this draft as well, because we're talking about finding a superstar or having a superstar, and sometimes you gotta take a chance. I love the Kobe Bryant analogy yesterday that was brought up, and I know people want to, Kobe Bryant. No one knew, and let's stop that. We're rewriting history on a guy because of his greatness that we've seen throughout the years, but they weren't thinking like this guy was going to come in and tear the league up. Did he have talent? Of course. But there was no confidence in that young guy like that. And as we saw, he was coming off the bench his first 2 years for good reason. And then once he got his opportunity, he made the best of his opportunity. And he never was a bench player again after that. So Jaden Ivey might be that Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I think a lot of the sources, Parrish Duggar, are saying that Mitchell Robinson is all but a done deal. Like they should be announcing his re-up soon. I would like to see an offense where you got a guy that can get to the basket at will and be able to set Mitchell Robinson up for some easy points. Shaden Sharp. Let me ask the chat this, and Uncle Freezy. Shaden Sharp or Jaden Ivey?
Jaden Ivey. I think Sharp is going to be special. Sharp is going to be very, very special. But Jaden Ivey is special and something we need right away.
Is it? Do you think it would be possible for us to get them both?
I think it's possible, but is it likely? No. I definitely think it's possible, but I don't think the Knicks want to pay 2 top 10 picks to pick up 2 top 10 pick contracts. I don't think they want to do that, especially with how strict they are with their salary cap management.
Okay. Because if I'm not mistaken, Sharp is a forward, right?
Yeah, Shaden Sharp is a 6'4.5" wing player. So he's 6'4" and some change without shoes. So they have him listed at 6'6".
Okay. Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I hear that Cam Reddish's name is being floated around in trades. So there goes your 6'8" wing being traded away. What does that do for the small forward position with the Knicks? How do they feel that? So does that mean that Alec Burks isn't going anywhere? Are they going to play one of the young guys out of position, or are they going to draft somebody, or they're going to pick somebody up if he's traded? Which it seems like a lot of the sources have him a part of a lot of these deals. Let me see. We're not giving up IQ or Obi. No way that happens. I don't know.
I think you're gonna have to if you want to improve. You're gonna have to.
I don't know if that's a no way they won't do that. I don't know about that.
Right, right, right.
I know a lot of fans like these guys. And I like them too. I really like IQ. Obi has definitely grown on me. But I can see them if trading IQ and Obi gets you into the top 5, the Knicks are absolutely going to do that. Because Obi was the 9th overall pick, and Emmanuel Quickly is the 20th. So essentially, you're trading the 20th pick and the 9th pick to get the 5th. Now, if you had to add something to that, I could see them possibly doing it, especially if it's going to put you up there where you can get the guy that you really wanted. I'm not. Okay, so everybody has their guys that they would like to see on the team. Okay. Forget Ivy. Go get Mathurin. Andrew, you've been saying that for a minute, and I wouldn't be surprised as well, because I heard that SGA was on the trading block. I heard that he was available. Would Knicks fans be okay with SGA if he turned out to be someone that we pursued? Because the OKC Thunder took Ivy with the number 2 overall pick. Because I could definitely see that. And I could definitely see Sam Presti. Sam Presti's smart, man. Okay, he's efficient. He's inefficient. And the question was, they take Jaden Ivey at 2, and he was available. Would you be okay with the Knicks pursuing him? Okay. Yeah, man. I'm hoping our front office has their thinking caps on and got the blinders off so they can see in all directions to make something happen. Okay. The guy who trained Andrew Collinsay says the guy who trained SGA and RJ also trained Shaedon Sharpe, and he said Sharpe is way ahead of SGA and RJ at this point, and they ain't even close. He said, "I want Sharpe." Okay. Salute DSJ in the building. The real DSJ. I don't have a major preference. Only my prerequisite is, listen, get somebody in here that's good, that can play. Somebody not decent, not a really good player. No, let's get a fledgling superstar or a superstar on a cusp. That's what That's what we need. That's what we're devoid of. You can go to most of these NBA rosters and they'll have their piece. And that's all we need. We need our piece. I think once we get that piece, everything else will fall into place. Because you're gonna need guys like some of the guys we already have. Guys that just can come in and do their jobs. You're gonna need, guys like Quentin Grimes or Deuce McBride, guys that are just gonna be able to come in and do what they need to do, and not be counted on to lift the team, because that's not who those particular guys are. But they are solid contributors. You're gonna need guys like that. But to have a whole team full of that, that's not going to get you a championship. That's going to get you early exits and middle of the road draft picks going on down, moving down the line.
Hey Chuck, I'm about to walk in this spot, man. I should be in here like 20 minutes, and I'm gonna leave out here and jump right back on. Okay.
Hey, do your thing. Do your thing. Yes, sir. So, Paris Douglas said the truest way to move us forward is to trade Cam and RJ for Ivy and keep our 11th pick. Add the Dallas pick next year. Grimes is the best 2-guard we have. Paris Duggar, I'm not going to totally disagree with that. And here's why. I think Grimes is a better shooter than any of the guys in the starting lineup, except Fournier, because Fournier has the experience, right? But he's a better shooter than RJ. He's a better 3-point shooter than Cam Reddish at this point, right? Cam hasn't played enough for us to really make that determination, and he is a dog on the defensive end. And I think he gets better with more. He gets better with time and attrition, because we did see him, when he played against the Bucks. He did a solid job, but Chris Middleton is a savvy vet, and you saw him do all that savvy vet stuff on Quentin Grimes, and I didn't take it like, oh man, this kid. Nah, he's going up against a crafty veteran. And for the most part, he held his own. So I can buy that. Grimes is the best 2-guard that we have right now. Parrish, I don't know if fans are really going to be feeling that, because there are a lot of RJ fans. And I think he's a good player, really good player. He has some holes in his game for sure, things that he work on, but we see him work on things that were deficiencies every year, and he's gotten better. Cam is still untapped potential, and truth be told, a lot of the Knicks wanted him over RJ, and Cam was the talk for the Knicks for a minute, until Zion had the great season that he had. Cam kind of was in a little bit of a funk, and RJ played well in spurts. So if they did that, how would y'all feel if they moved RJ and Cam for Jaden Ivey? Or if they moved them for let me see, who are we talking about? Shaden Sharp. How would you guys feel about that? We are drafting AJ. I don't maybe Chuck, my gut feeling is the Knicks won't make any moves and will be picking at 11. That's a real possibility. That's a possibility. We've done that in the past. And I think this is the time where, yo, man, you gotta take a chance. I'd rather you try something and it doesn't work than us to not do anything and still get the same result. Like that's wild to me. Fournier is an option in this deal because of the dollars. I would trade Fournier in another deal. RJ is too slow, no hops, can't finish. Now, yeah, that's a problem, and that's one of the problems. So I can understand why Parrish and others, and even including myself, you know, I look at it like, okay, you can't rule anything out. We like this guy, but to be your number one, you have to be able to do these things here. Um, and there's nothing he's going to be able to do about his speed. Not really. Um, his hops, he could work on his hops, maybe get a little stronger in the legs or something. But he has to be able to finish and knock down free throws. Parrish. Now I usually don't agree with a lot of things you say, but bro, that is interesting. That is interesting, and I could see New Orleans possibly making that trade for sure. It guarantees that they keep their franchise superstar in New Orleans, right? Because in our minds, once we got Cam, it was like, oh, it's a lock. Zion Williamson is absolutely coming. Zion Williamson is coming because he wants to play with RJ. He wants to play with his guys, right? So trade RJ and Cam to New Orleans for Trey Murphy the third, someone that a lot of the fans, including myself, wanted to get, and their 2 first-round picks this year. Okay. Let's take a look at something real quick. Let me see what where they're picking. So they're at number 8, and okay. 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 I can see them doing that. DSJ said Ivy seems like he's worth the conversation, but it feels like 2 steps backwards for 1 step forward. Should we ask for more picks in this trade scenario with New Orleans? Absolutely. I'll be asking for 4 first-round picks. I'm giving you Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett. You guys don't think RJ Barrett is at least worth 2 first-round picks. That's the bare minimum. Two first-round picks. I think he's at least worth 2 first-round picks. Cam is worth at least 1. And I say at least 1 because we gave a first-round pick to get him. So at the bare minimum, I'm looking for 4. I would be asking for 4 first-round picks. But if you can get 2 picks this year, I would be trying to package to move up and get Jaden Ivey somehow. If I can get those 2 picks, that would give us 3 first-round picks. Yeah. If you can get it, and if you can get some 2023 action going on, would be even better. As we said earlier, New Orleans is right behind the Houston Rockets with 11 draft picks. So that means they have enough picks. Those Laker picks. If those picks are still, available, I ain't taking none of those Laker picks. AJ Griffin at Duke, Shaden Sharp. Yeah, man, there's a lot of internet chatter going on right now. Yeah, absolutely. I would be asking for more picks, man, for sure. For sure. So let me ask this. Those who said this, I want to ask them specifically because they brought up. So Andrew College, if you made this move, you made the move, and you moved up in the draft, and you have the opportunity to draft Ivy or Sharp, which way are you going? Oh, Alvarado, yeah, man. Alvarado's solid. Like, he's not a world beater, but he's solid. He has energy and heart. He doesn't give up on the play. Like, I like what I've seen from him, not just against us, but some of the other things that I've seen that he's done in other games. That seems like a solid piece and a great spark coming off the bench, for sure. For sure. I think. Like, I'm looking at this thing now, and I'm like, okay. Parrish, I think this could absolutely work. I think that could work. I'm looking at it. But they definitely would have to give me at least 4 first-round picks. Not just the 2 this year. Not just the 2 this year, but they have to give me 2 more, because I believe RJ Barrett by himself, at the bare minimum, can get you 2 first-round picks. But I think it's more like 3, right? And we know for sure Cam Reddish is at least a first round pick because that's what we gave up to get him. Even though they could turn into second round picks, whatever the case may be, but they were still conditional first round pick. That would absolutely make Zion happy, and I could see them possibly pulling a deal like that. But here's the big but. Here's the big but. They just got CJ McCollum. They just got CJ McCollum. So unless they plan on flipping CJ McCollum, oh yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to flip CJ McCollum because where's RJ gonna play? You're gonna start RJ at the small forward over Brandon okay, in this scenario, you still trying to trade for Jaden Ivey. I think that is I think that's what we're trying to do here, DSJ. I'm going back up to the original thing that Paris Douglas says. Yeah, trade RJ and Cam to New Orleans for Trey Murphy and their 2 first-round picks this year. Okay, so no, you're not trying to get Jaden Ivey. Okay. Okay. So you're going to get these picks to actually, take these players, or use these picks to package to get something else. Because if you're saying we're going to trade them to pick up, oh, okay, they had CJ McCollum at the starting point guard position. Okay, I thought that he was playing the 2 like he was in Portland. So if that's the case, then yeah, that'll absolutely work. Okay. No, we have no 8th pick. Okay, that trade gets us Mathurin probably. Okay. Okay. I think you make that kind of trade. You should be able to do something with the 8th and 11th if you can move those picks, if you can use those picks to move up to grab one of those guards. One thing about swinging for the fences, if you connect, you're gonna put that ball out of the park. But then sometimes you strike out. That's what happens when you take the big swing. And Chuck has always been a guy who swings for the fences. And boy, have I crashed and burned a lot. But I know if I can just connect on one of these, it's going to be big. I'm not even going to front. Paris Douglas got me thinking now with this Cam and RJ to New Orleans. Okay, well, let's talk about RJ Barrett for a second. Do you think RJ Barrett is capable of being that guy, the number one guy, or the number two guy? Is he capable of being the number one or the number two guy on a winning team? Is RJ Barrett's skill set complementary to the guys that you want to bring in? Okay, we gotta know real fast. Damn. Damn. The reason I say that is because if he's not a sure thing, number twos are, I know what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy, but number twos are a little easier to come by because there are more guys that are actually number twos, but in bad situations are number ones. And if you had someone else there to lighten the load for them, they would be more comfortable and they probably produce more at a higher level. I don't think RJ's a max player, and I'm afraid of us giving him max money. And I know people will say, "Well, it's not your money," you know. We can't get locked into contracts with mediocre players for the long haul. I think so too. Let me say this. Let me throw this out there. Since we're talking the Pelicans, what if the Pelicans are like, hey, New York, give us your picks for this year, next year, Obi Toppin, and 2025 or 2026 first round pick, and or this year's pick, Dallas's pick next year, the 2025, 2024 first round pick, a couple of these second round picks, and Obi Toppin, and we'll give y'all Zion Williamson. Would anybody be willing to do that? Would New York fans be happy about that? You traded Obi and a bunch of picks to get Zion Williamson. I would. I'm with Parrish, man. I'm with Parrish and Savage. I'm with you too, man. I'm with you too. I would definitely explore possibly trading him if it's going to get you the right amount of picks. For me, I believe that he's an injury ready to happen too. I'm afraid of us getting him, and at the moment we get him, he suffers a catastrophic injury that has him out for the duration of his contract. Like he'll come back for a little bit and then he's out again for a nagging injury. So with that being said, okay, you got a guy with injury history, right? You don't want to bring that guy in. So yeah, I'm definitely looking RJ and Cam because I think they can get a couple of their picks, not just this year's, the two picks that they got this year. Because I think RJ can get that by himself. Yes, Antonio McDyess. Here's the thing. Antonio McDyess, even after the knee injuries, wasn't a bad player, but the Knicks was trying to play this dude like 40 minutes. They were trying to play him 40 minutes like he was the double guy from the Suns. And it's like, no, Sky just had double knee surgery. What is wrong with y'all? Because guess what? When they put him in a role with Detroit, he flourished. coming off the bench, playing sparing minutes. He was as much as we praise their big five, it was really a big seven. And Antonio McDyess was a part of that, coming off the bench with that Detroit team that was defensive monsters. Go back, watch the tapes, look at the roster. Antonio McDyess was on that roster. Look at his stats when he was in a reserve role, but not New York. No, we're gonna trade our young stud Marcus Camby. We're gonna trade Marcus Camby to get the guy coming off of double knee surgery. Like, what the man? See, and those are the type of moves that the front office should not make. And I would tip my hat to them if they pull off anything remotely close to what Paris Duggar has proposed. Some Knicks fans are going to be upset, but I'm with that. Yeah. And you kind of want to say, yo, well, if you play Zion more minutes, he'll be in better shape. But build up endurance. But yo, his frame is just so unusual. It's so unusual that I'm not sure if he can sustain that. You know what I'm saying? When you're an explosive player like that and you're putting that kind of pressure on your knees and stuff, it's going to take a toll, because that's why Kemba's knees went out so fast. Go watch the tapes. Watch Kemba's ability to start and stop on a dime and change directions like a running back. That puts a lot of wear and tear on your knees. Ask anybody that's played in the NFL for 2 or 3 years, let alone go ahead and ask the guy that's a 10-year veteran about the start and stop and the wear and tear on your knees like that. Yo, who knew Jimmy Butler would be this good? And he didn't run fast or jump high, but he improved. And RJ's in the third year, and third year is way better, Chuck. Hey, man, I hear you. I hear you. But I think there are quite a few players, right, that have been in the NBA that weren't the most athletic, but they were extremely skilled. RJ doesn't shoot the ball well enough. He's improved. His strength was, bully ball, getting to the basket. But he wasn't finishing well. He improved his 3-point shot. Because one of the things that we were concerned about as a shooting guard, like, he don't shoot off the dribble. And then he came back the next year with that a part of his arsenal. So I do see him getting better. But do I see him as that guy that lifts our franchise? I don't. But I think he's a really good player. I think he's a really, really good player. Because some people were saying, like, yo, man, he could be, like his floor is Andrew Wiggins, and I don't see that. I don't see that. Andrew Wiggins, in my opinion, is way better basketball player. And I don't think it's close. And yes, you could say Andrew Wiggins has been in the league a lot longer, but from a skill set standpoint, Um, I think yes, yes. Um, but our guys have been known to have slow starts. Like that's just been their thing. Since they got in the league. Uh, not only RJ, but Julius Randle as well. They have been notoriously uh absent in the beginning of the season, where there's no consistency, and then as you get later on in the season, they start finding their grooves and start picking up, and things are getting a little better. Um, yeah, man, I saw what Andrew Wiggins did, man. That's why I was saying like that was the comparison with him still at Duke. Like he could be, his floor was Andrew Wiggins. You know, his floor was Andrew Wiggins. And so Andrew Wiggins, um, like I said, is definitely right. Yeah, that's true. Andrew Wiggins was the number one pick, but we- I'm not sure how you using it, like because he was the number one pick, he should automatically be better. Um, because Kenyon Martin was the number one pick too. Um, if they moved 90%, um, yeah, yeah, I got to do that because we're talking about someone's skill set. Andrew Wiggins' skill set is better than RJ's when Andrew Wiggins was a rookie. That's not debatable or close. Not debatable or close. Uh, his skill set is better was better than RJ's right now. Um, but I'm not comparing, Andrew Wiggins right now to RJ right now. I'm just talking about coming into the league. Coming into the league. Um, so let's look at Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins rookie season. Hold on, let me see. All right, go to Basketball Reference. Um, Andrew Wiggins averaged 16 points a game. 2 assists, about 3 rebounds, shot 76% from the free throw line on 5 attempts. Um, shot 45% from the field. Um, shot 30% from three. Uh, second year 20, third year 23.6, and then 2017 to 2019 there was a production dip. He went to 17.7 and then back up to 18.1 the next year. And then so let's just stick with the 2 years. It's 16.9 and 20.7. Yes, those are his numbers. Okay. That's my point on the comparison of what Wiggins just did on defense is not a good comparison to a third year player. Yeah, he averaged 16 points. Right. See, one thing that I can say about numbers can be misleading, and averaging those many points, um, is fine. It's fine for a rookie because if you ask me, I would argue. Hold on, let me see what his numbers were his first year. Okay, well, since we're gonna do that, um, Kobe Bean Bryant in 1996 averaged 15 minutes a game and averaged 7.6 points a game. In 1997, he averaged 15.4 points a game. So, I mean, RJ Barrett got better numbers than Kobe Bryant his first year and second year. Keyshawn, I absolutely know who Kobe was behind. I'm just saying when people throw out first year numbers and say, well, Andrew Wiggins had 16 and then RJ had 17, almost 18 points a game. So therefore, that makes him the better player. And I'm saying uh numbers don't lie, but they can be misleading. And if we're going to say that, then we have to say that he's better than Kobe Bryant. He was better than Kobe Bryant his first 2 years too. Um Based on the numbers. But then when you put it in context and add the nuance, he was behind Eddie Jones and Brian Scott. No, but I am. I did. I absolutely did because you brought up the fact that what was his numbers his first year, and we were comparing first year numbers, and so I brought up Kobe Bryant's numbers just to show you that numbers can be misleading when it comes to evaluating a player, and there are circumstances into why a person could average more or less points with any particular team, and I'm saying you can't really always solely go on numbers. Eddie Jones. All right, I'll look that up real quick. Um, Eddie Jones was drafted by the Lakers in 94. Eddie Jones, his first year, he averaged 14 points. And so his first season, 94, he averaged 14. And the Lakers, let me see, in 95, he averaged 13 points, 12.8 points. And in 96, when they got let me see that 17 points. Kobe Bryant was drafted in 96. So in 96, Eddie Jones averaged 17.2 points. Now, my point, Hardwell, was that when RJ was drafted and they were giving player comparisons, they were saying that RJ Barrett's floor would be Andrew Wiggins. A lot of people were saying that, and I was pointing out that he's not Andrew Wiggins at all. Not even skill set. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about as a rookie. Their skill sets aren't comparable. And sometimes, Keyshawn, that does happen where you have a guy with tremendous talent just goes to an organization that don't know how to use them. You know, they had T Mac coming off the bench out there in the 6. T Mac was coming off the bench in the 6. And he was like, nah, forget that. I'm going to Orlando. Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that their skill sets were different. That's why I didn't think it was a fair comparison. Like Wiggins' skill set was a lot better than RJ's. But RJ has gotten better every year. He's worked on his game. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I don't. It's the organization sometimes, man. They don't know what they have. Like we love, a lot of us wanted what's my man name? Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry bounced around the league. he bounced around the league until he ended up with the Raptors. Chauncey Billups did the same thing. Like sometimes, coaches have their minds made up on how they want things done and what a player should look like. And if a player doesn't measure up to that, then they ice them out. And it isn't until they get to a new situation where they're asked to do something different or asked to do the things that they're comfortable with that the other coach or the other organization didn't want them to do. And it's like, yo, this guy's freaking awesome. Like, why would y'all not play him? coach, man, your playing time and stuff is like, as much as you want to say, oh man, the best players should be able to get adequate time. If a coach don't F with you, a coach don't F with you, man. And there's nothing you can do. Hey man, I usually y'all know vibes and stuff, man. We try to stay away from the sports topics because Blanche Tears and the KMD family, y'all handle that very well. But today being draft day, you know, I'm probably gonna walk up to the Barclays this afternoon. Uh Maybe me being in the building will bring us some good luck for those who believe in luck. Uh, we do we do need Nick's relationship corner. How Why do fans stay with an abusive uh with an abusive front office? They tease you and tease you and tease you, and you never get any of the things that they promise. uh, hey man, I think that's um. Oh no, listen, man. I because of what I've seen from number ones Hardwell, I personally don't see it, but I think he's a very good player. The only reason, like I said, I brought up the Andrew Wiggins. The only reason I brought up the Andrew Wiggins is because that's who they said his floor was when he was drafted, and I was saying that their skill sets were different. That's it. Um, I think RJ is still going to be a very good player, um, but he may not be a number one. Like we look at Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown is a great player, but he's not necessarily a number one. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Um, if the Knicks made a bold move like that, one, I would take my hat off to them because I'm like, yo, they're trying to do something. What do I necessarily agree? Maybe not. But if they made a bold move of trading, if they made a bold move of trading Cam and RJ, whoa, to New Orleans, whoa, for a bunch of their picks plus this year's picks and some stuff, like, would I like it? But could I see what they're trying to do? Yeah. Okay. All right. Because the worst. Yeah, man. It would be crazy. I would, my mind would be blown. I just want to see them. I want to see them making positive steps, because for so many drafts and so many off seasons, the New York Knicks have always been a day late and a dollar short when it comes to the moves that will propel us into the next uh, tier of an organization. Um, because what happens so often is we'll have a young team like this. Don't get don't get it twisted, guys. With the exception of maybe like 5 or 6 guys, this team is relatively young, right? And even those guys, they ain't, 35 plus. Only two of those guys that are close to that age, and that's Taj and D Rose. Everybody else is fairly young in NBA years. So a perfect offseason for me would be moving the vets, moving the crutches that Tibb leaned on throughout the season, and putting guys out there, or putting guys that's on the roster that not just decent, or yeah, he's a solid player. Um, I don't think we need more solid players. I think we need uh above average elite talent. We can get a number one for a late first. I hope we do. That's all we need. We need that guy. Um, I would absolutely. The truth be told, if we're going to keep it funky, RJ or Randall has to go. They both can't be here. They just can't. It's not going to work. They don't necessarily uh complement each other. Yeah, the number one is absolutely going to need help. Absolutely, number ones can't do it by themselves. Um, and even with that number one thing, even giving people that title, because we said, you know, with Boston, uh, Jalen Brown is the number two, and clearly Jason Tatum is the number one. Did anybody see the finals? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, one of those guys had to go. And I don't know who the front office covers most, but one of these guys have to go because they just don't. Oh yeah, Tatum is still a far superior talent. I agree, Keyshawn. But you know how they put that moniker number one on you, and the number one is supposed to do all of this. Yo, what's up, Marquise? Shout out to them Boston boys. Yeah, man. So yeah, oh wow, the Knicks are gonna make Brunson an offer. Now that's one move I am vehemently against. I just am, because I think that I think Brunson is mediocre at best. Um, I know 25 million isn't a lot, but I feel like it's a lot for him. Um, and I don't know if I want to give him that. Why are you clearing money for him? Of all people, why him? Like, this is something I don't understand. Like, I don't think we know how to evaluate point guards, man. I just don't. Nah, man. Listen, I know that the salary cap is going to go up, and these numbers don't look like what they should, or what they used to. Not what they should. What they used to look like, as far as starting money and all that. But yeah, man. I would take my chances in the draft. and try to get my guard there. Does anybody want to come? No. If anything, I would be looking, because there are reports that now that SGA could be available. I don't know how y'all feel about him. I think $25 million is a lot for a backup point guard. And y'all can fight me on that. We can go back and forth. I think he's a backup point guard. Is he better than what we have on the roster? Yeah, sure. But that don't mean you pay him that kind of money because he's better than what you have on your roster. To be honest, you can go pick up better point guards. But personally, I think Emmanuel Quickley and Tyrese Maxey are very similar players, and Tyrese Maxey did a very good job for Philly, being a young guy. Despite what people think about Doc played that young guy. He gave him minutes, and so I see similarities in their games. They're not carbon copies, exact duplicates of one another, but they both have, I think, that Kentucky thing on the inside of them, that guts and that moxie that endear fans. But at the same time, I think it's worth a shot to see. What else could it hurt? Because even if we win 30 games next year, right? Even if that's all we win is 30 games next year. Our young guys get time together. They get to build cohesion and chemistry, right? They get NBA experience. And you can position yourself in the draft again, right? To be with it, to picking in the top 10 or the top 5, because winning a championship ain't happening no time soon for the Knicks. There's no shortcut or short flip or quick flip to get there. The Eastern Conference has become a tough conference again. Everyone is loading up. Some of the aging superstars are about to walk in the next couple of years, either 5 years or so. And I think that's your time as an organization to strike. And we need to be in a position to do so by having solid roster construction. Yeah. Yeah. But there are similarities. Like I said, I don't think they're a carbon copy, Keyshawn. I don't think they're exact duplicates of one another. But you give him an opportunity. You give him the opportunity to see if he can do it, right? If you actually need to go out and get another guy, or your starting point guard, because I do believe with the things that I saw that Deuce McBride can play. He just have to be given the opportunity. I've heard Hardwill make this case a bunch of times on his show, For the Love of the Game, with him, Worldwide L, and HQ Hector, is that these guys be worried about making mistakes and getting pulled, right? And sometimes you just gotta let a player play through. And we have a bad habit of not doing that, of not letting a guy get out of his funk. Or, well, let me say that they have their picks or guys that they are allowed to do it when they won't allow other guys to. I think Deuce with the fact that he can play uh on ball, he could pick up full court, and like his defense was already at an NBA level where you could build on that and he could become an elite on ball defender. I think you just got to play a guy like that, because here's the thing. Despite what we want to say about Elfrid Payton, and I know that name is probably cutting in your ears right now, stabbing your soul, because I said Elfrid Payton, but Elfrid Payton did his job, meaning he played defense, he stopped the ball at the point of attack, he was able to get in the paint and distribute the ball. But once they started blocking off his passing lanes and made him a scorer, he wasn't necessarily that. And then they started playing more zone and forcing the ball back to him to shoot open shots, but he just couldn't shoot, right? I think Deuce is a way better version of that. Deuce will attempt the shot, and he has the ability to knock it down. So if he can play defense that way, I thought he should have been playing more this year. After seeing Quentin Grimes play, I was like, I don't know if the Evan Fournier move was the right move. And to the Knicks fans that are tearing Fournier a new one, I remember when the Orlando Magic traded him to Boston. There were Knicks fans. I promise you, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look through all of the. I'm gonna get that footage of people. Yo, we could have had Evan Fournier. All Boston did was give up the second round pick. We had a second round pick. How come the front office didn't do that? We could have got him or Terrence Ross. And then the next year they get Evan Fournier, and it just didn't work. It wasn't a fit, right? I thought once you saw that wasn't a fit, you should have played Grimes, because Grimes essentially could do what Reggie Bullock did, and that was stop the ball at the point of attack, play great perimeter defense, and knock down open shots. I don't think he could. I think he can put the ball on the floor a little better than Reggie Bullock, because that was Reggie Bullock's not being able to put the ball on the floor. Once they closed out his airspace, he wasn't able to do anything, right? So I thought he should have played, because that essentially is the same dynamics of the team you had the year before, where it was predicated on defense. So you added two rookies, right? No, they weren't high draft picks, but their skill set suggests that they could slide it into the spots of the guys that you just let go in free agency, right? And I thought throughout the year they would get more time, and that didn't necessarily happen. So my thing is let IQ rock, man, and see what he has. Let Deuce rock. Let's see what they have. Before we go spending a whole bunch of money and assets to get a backup point guard to come in and play major minutes for us on a sizable contract. Because the thing I would hate to happen is what I've seen a lot of people do when these deals go through. It's like, okay, the deal went through. Now you're expecting this guy to lift your team. Yo, he's getting paid $25 million. He's supposed to be. And I'm like, well, why do you think that? And then sometimes guys get an opportunity to play with a certain freedom when they're playing with a Luka Doncic. I have a little more liberty in the things that I do, because I'm playing with a superstar. And y'all got to account for that superstar. Let me look at the chat. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not giving away the keys to nobody. Let the best man win. My feelings is we are staying at 11. History shows that we will make no moves. That's true. Today might go down in history. Hopefully it does. And hopefully it's a positive for the Knicks. We say every year, Pudge Nice. Chuck, I think I think we aren't making any moves and picking at 11. That would suck. Oh, Marquise, you out? Hey man, have a good day. Appreciate you stopping by. Leon, the mighty lion of the East, awaken for I'm not expecting nothing. I'm used to these guys, but hopefully they made a move that I see is promising. I hope so. I hope so. Just as long as not another ham sandwich. Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with ham sandwiches, man. Unless you're not a pork person, right? Or you're not a meat eater, then of course. But me personally, I don't mind ham sandwich. A little ham and cheese. I don't mind that. But if you're telling me I gotta eat ham every day because that's all in my refrigerator, I'll eat it. But man, I'll be wishing this ham sandwich was something else. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and I don't mind us getting guys, really good, solid NBA players and letting them play and letting them figure out the NBA, and then making moves accordingly. I think that's fine, but for me, you got to move the vets. You got to move the vets in order to find out if these ham sandwiches are just regular ham sandwiches. Are they boarhead sandwiches, or are they Virginia ham sandwiches, or are they prosciutto? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference. And so you're not going to find that out if you have mediocre at best players in front of them getting buku dollars and all of the minutes. Yeah, man, it's the speculation, man, that kills us, man. The anticipation, because as fans, we have gone through these scenarios over and over. We have talked about them ad nauseum on various platforms. At all the Nick platforms that we're subscribed to, or not even subscribed to, but may come up on our feed, we watch, right? Because we've watched this organization for decades be ran by people that shouldn't be allowed to make any decisions for themselves. Okay, like they should have a conservatory. Like, no, before you even speak, what? Let the conservatory speak. Like, because you're mentally not ready there to handle business. We've watched terrible mishaps year after year. Picking the wrong guys. I feel like that's what's hurt us. Missing on draft picks consecutively. Like that hurts. That hurts what you're trying to build for the future, where your pieces aren't real pieces. You know what I mean? Two of the guys that you've taken, within the top 10, they both may be on the verge of not being in the league. And you can say what you want. Oh, his skill set. Frank Ntilikina gets no burn. Kevin Knox got some, but not a lot of burn. And we picked them in the top 10 back-to-back years. So my thing is, what stresses us and keeps us glued to all of the information is, well, what are we trying to do? Because I'm tired of being mediocre. I'm tired of seeing a spark and getting overly excited over this spark, and that's all it is. Like, it never turns into a raging fire. Like, oh shit, New York is on fire. No, it's never happened. Hasn't happened. Yeah, man. I'm just I was in that mood this morning when I woke up. I was like, yo, man, I want to talk. I want to talk Knicks. And when Unc said that, he had some things that he had to step off and do this morning, I was like, well, of course, I am going to speak. I don't want to say my piece, but just give my thoughts on the situation, because I don't really jump on the panels like that as much as I used to. Only because I wanted to give the office the opportunity to do something of significance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah. But I think I agree. But one of these guys got to go, and I think that's where the front office has to make a firm decision. I know the fans have their picks of who they want to stay, but one of those guys have to go, RJ or Randall, because they don't work together. Or you could be real gangster about it and get rid of them both. Like, now we're going to start this thing all over from scratch. We had a time window, or we had a plan, and it's not going that way, and let's scrap it. Maybe. Oh man, child, don't say that. I don't want us to. I don't want to move. I don't want to move back and pick up a bunch of players. Like, we can't sign all of these players. We can't. We can't. I think for sure, the main person that I would like to see go, and I know this might seem so. Alec Burks is the first vet that I would move, because he leaned on him way too much. And I know he's, Tibbs Swiss Army knife. You can plug him at the 1, the 2, the 3. But he affects the young guys' minutes, and I think he has to go. Yeah, I noticed RJ and Randall have not been mentioned in any trades, and I don't think this pairing goes well. I don't think this pairing is well, because they don't complement each other. They don't. This doesn't feel like a young Penny Hardaway and a young Shaquille O'Neal. This doesn't feel like a young John Stockton and Karl Malone. Like, this doesn't feel like that. Like, oh, that's a pairing for the future. And I know some people, oh well, they didn't win a championship together, but it's the fact that those pieces fit well. And hey man, every generation had a mother that was winning all the championships. And it just so happened it was MJ's era at that time. Hey man, people are selfish. Only fans think that guys play with the best integrity and they sell out on every play, and no they don't. It's a business. The same way an organization will bench a guy or cut his time so he doesn't hit certain mile markers in his contract for incentives. You don't think guys will sandbag and not bring their best to the table for whatever reason? If they're holding out for money, if they're holding out for another contract, like stuff like that happens all the time. It happens more than you think. Hey man, you got selfish guys, man. If it ain't about me, then F everybody else. You have people like that.
Yo, what's up, boss?
What's going on, Unc?
Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing.
I'm gonna step out the way and I'm gonna let you get busy because Freezy got a thought. I was running my mouth.
Hey man, what I was gonna say is this, man. I was listening. I'm in the car on the way. First of all, listen, man. First of all, let me say something. Gas prices, y'all making me step. Man, look, I'm all Chuck. You know me. I'm all about saving money, right?
Yes, sir.
For some stuff ain't worth it, bro. Some stuff ain't worth it, bro. I drove the Saturn to the appointment. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm great.
That's a smart choice.
Yeah. Economically,
yes,
it's a smart choice. Man, I felt every bump and every. Now I'm like, am I just a spoiled ass baby, or is this thing real? Right? You feel me? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, man. But I was listening as much as I can, man. I agree with a lot of everything, man. I agree. Man, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You know what? I ain't gonna add nothing. I'm gonna just maybe I'll just jump in to help you wrap it up. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So,
you saw Paris Douglas?
No,
proposal?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Okay, so he proposed that the Knicks trade R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish to the New Orleans Pelicans for both of their picks this year. Jose Alvarado.
Right.
And what else? Parrish. Let me see. Let me run up. I told him it had to be more than just these 2 picks this year, because I think R.J. Barrett could get 2 first-round picks by himself. At the bare minimum, he can get 2 first-round picks at the bare minimum. So, and we know that Cam Reddish can get a first-round pick because we gave up a first-round pick to get him. Granted, it could possibly turn into a second round, whatever. But it was at the time a first-round pick. So,
yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Oh, and Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy
Do it.
the third. Trey Murphy the third.
Y'all know I
the
love
other
Trey
player.
Murphy, bro.
That was the other player. Trey Murphy the third. Alvarado. And 4 first-round picks. 2 this year, and then 2 future.
Okay, let's do it. I'm like Tone Loc. Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
I like Trey Murphy, and I like first-round picks. I'm like Sir Mix-a-Lot. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Sir Mix-a-Lot had this song. I forget what the name of it, but these 2 women are like, oh my God, Becky. Look at her something. She looks like something.
Look at her.
And something she say. And then Sir Mix-a-Lot come in and say, I like big somethings. And he cannot lie. So I think he's talking about first round picks and draft picks. Hey, I'm coming. Hold on for just a second. I'm coming that way. I'm coming. So yeah, let's do it. Like Tone Loc say, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Did you know Young MC wrote that? The rapper Young MC. Yes. Young MC is a very, very, very underrated and underappreciated writer.
Yes.
Because he not only did he wrote the anthems for 2 summers back to back. He wrote, I know, Benny, I know you like Young MC. Calm down. So he wrote Wild Thing, and then he wrote Bust a Move. Like one summer you was listening to Wild Thing, and the next summer you was listening to Bust a Move. Don't just stand there, bust a move.
If you want it,
You got it.
you got it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know, he wrote both of those. Man. My man is a very underrated writer. Yeah, man.
That's why when you said he wrote that, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like Young MC.
Yeah, Wild Thing. Yeah. Tone Loc is just the voice. Tone Loc ain't writing nothing. Only thing Tone Loc write is his name on checks. That's it. He don't write nothing. But he got the voice though.
He has the voice. Yo, Tone Loc had a little run. Tone Loc was not only a rapper, but he was an actor in very big movies.
Yep.
For a minute.
Yeah.
In the early, like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, man.
Yeah, my favorite line, come on, Ace, don't do that to me, man. You know she on the way. Don't Ace. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Hey, man. Yeah, I plan on going to the Barclays. That's my plan. But Chuck is a germaphobe. I'm probably gonna walk there. Just because people, I'm not even gonna lie, man. People kind of overdo it. They be,
Yeah, they be overdoing it. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, man. Like dudes be, like I be peeing, minding my business at a urinal peeing, and a dude will come next to you. Like it'll be 99 stalls, and he'll like get in the stall next to you, and then start jumping up and down. Oh boy, man, I've been holding this for a minute. Man, get your disgusting ass out of here. Don't get beat up in a public bathroom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll be telling. Okay, all right, Benny. Chuck, I gotta go because Benny calling me for something.
All right,
Benny, you supposed to be texting me. Benny, you supposed to text me. You ain't supposed to just be barking at me, calling my name.
Hey, man, I appreciate everybody coming and joining us today, man. Salute to all the vibrant ones, man. Thank you for making the show what it is today. Hey, today is draft day, man. Make sure y'all hitting those wires, finding out what's going on, keeping us updated. We appreciate you coming by Vibes and stuff, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back here tomorrow, letting you know what the results are and vibing out. Peace.
For sure. Peace, y'all.